Hey, so today I'm going to talk about a game again. And funny enough, this is my second recording of this because the first time I actually recorded an over 20-minute video talking about this game. And after I kind of looked it back, I was kind of thinking damn, I really didn't say anything in that. Right? And I'm mad at myself now because that was over 20 minutes. And I somehow did not manage to cover a single topic I wanted to talk about in it. So I'm redoing the whole fucking video now. But the game I want to talk about is Persona 5 because I wanted to play Persona 5 for a long time and I never got to. And after I beat Yakuza 0, I was like, okay, let's hope Persona 5 is just as good. And I can definitely say that Persona 5 is amazing. Persona 5 is such a good game. And this time, I'm actually going to talk about everything. I'm not just going to feebly explain the story and then just rant about the ending like I did with the first video that I already deleted. But Persona 5 is a fucking Japanese game made by Atlas, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't really know if Atlas has made anything else, but I only know them for Persona. That's about it. And Persona 5 is a game that on the internet, it feels like when you say you like Persona 5, people make fun of you for some fucking reason. I don't know why. I've seen this whole crazed group of people on the internet that attack those who like Persona 5. And a lot of the time it's people who like Persona 3 and 4 because apparently Persona fans, people who are diehard fans of Persona hate 5 for some reason. But Persona 5 is apparently the most popular most popular Persona, most popular Persona, and that's even evident in the fact that Joker, the main character of Persona 5, is in Smash. So I mean, it must be pretty popular if Joker got put in Smash. But Persona 5 was an amazing game. It was so much fun. Everything about it, the story, the characters, and I have to say that Persona 5 has some of the funkiest fucking music I've ever heard. And I can tell you with 100% certainty that if I listened to these songs for hours, I still couldn't tell you what the fucking lyrics are. There's some gentle song that plays when you're in the cafe, and you think oh, you can understand the lyrics. I don't know what the fuck they're saying in those songs. For some reason, I don't know if there's such thing as auditory dyslexia or something, but I swear to God, sometimes there's certain songs I hear, and then the word goes in my ear and then gets jumbled in my brain, and then it's not right. I hear the word, but then my brain jumbles it. And I first noticed it when I played Saints Row 1, and I listened to a song, I think it was by the Fallout Boys, of Gin and Juice, or whatever the fuck that song was called, that's in Saints Row 1. The song would play, and I couldn't figure out what the fuck they were saying. They were saying words, but for some reason, it all sounded jumbled. I was hearing it, but it just sounded like they were just. It was like if someone was just singing, like someone's just fucking scatting, right? That's all it sounds like when I hear some music. And Persona 5 is some of the funkiest fucking music I've ever heard. Their music is so fucking good. Music that plays when during whenever the palaces get to 99%, or the gentle music that plays when you're in the cafe, or just the battle music where they talk about a cum man. That shit's funky as fuck. And I genuinely don't know what the fuck they're saying in the song. Because in the gentle song, I just keep hearing the word Shepshiffer, and that's not a fucking word, and I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. It's the song is so gentle, you think I'd pick it up. But anyway, yeah, I felt like I need to talk about the music because Persona 5's music is so fucking funky. Goddamn, that shit is funky, and I only know two or three songs. Because there's the music that's oh shit's getting hyper, and then there's the generic battle music where the person keeps saying that you never see a cum man, and then there's the Shepshiffer song where I still don't know what the fuck they're saying. I just keep hearing her say Shepshiffer, and I don't think that's a word unless the song's in German. But anyway, that's me just talking about the music because I like the music. And I love the characters. I think all of the characters are good. I think if there was a main character I disliked the most, it would probably be Morgana. Because, I don't know, he's just kind of annoying a lot of the time. And a lot of the time he's just kind of this like there's parts where they kind of like story dump, like where they just kind of like take some of the story and they're just like, here you fucking moron, here's the story. But I think in Persona 5 they do it pretty good because there are some parts that are so convoluted and weird that I genuinely needed explained, and that did happen towards the part where your character gets interrogated, right? Like towards the ending of that and whole interrogation scene. I had to have it explained to me because I was genuinely dumbfounded, just like, what the fuck happened? Am I dead? But Morgana's character is like so fucking annoying, and I'm glad that they eventually swap Morgana out for Futaba when it comes to like talking, because Morgana is so annoying. Like Futaba's at least like somewhat entertaining, and her voice is less grating. And that's not anything to the voice actor or actress, because Morgana's a male character played by a female, which it's kind of obvious. But Morgana's just, I think it's like the delivery, like the way Morgana's just like so obnoxiously loud for no reason, and just half the time just like unnecessarily combative, despite the personality having no sign of being a combative annoyance. Like at least like Ryuji's like whole purpose is to be like a dumb idiot who just kind of gets like hot-headed and picks fights and swears a lot. But like Morgana has like no show of that, but then just randomly insults people for no reason. And just it's not Morgana. I just don't like Morgana. I never liked Morgana. Even at the end when they were like trying to make it like all sad, like I just couldn't feel sad for Morgana because I was just like, I don't care about this character. I don't like Morgana. Like this character was probably like my least favorite, definitely. But I love the characters. I think all the characters are great. And the weird thing is, I found out one of the characters from Persona 5 like when the game came out, like a long time ago. And the only character I knew about from Persona 5 was Futaba. And the reason I knew about Futaba was because Futaba was the most popular character from at least what I know. Because it felt like everyone, like when the game came out, everyone talked about Futaba. It was always Futaba this, Futaba that. And I just kept seeing things about Futaba, and I was like, who the fuck is Futaba? And Futaba's a fucking like orange haired shut in. And I was like, oh, a shut in character. The internet, when it comes to anime related things, has a very strange interest in shut ins, which is ironic because the internet hates shut ins in real life. But anime fans really love the shut in characters, which, God, I wish they liked shut ins in real life, because if that's the case, I'd be a fucking hit at parties. But I was kind of just like, why is Futaba so popular? Like, I get it, she's a shut in, and I mean, her design's cute, but like, is that it? Just cute design and she's a shut in? Is that it? And you know, the game came out what, 2016, something like that. I don't actually know when it came out, but the character was like talked about for a while, and to this day, I still sometimes saw things relating to Futaba, like on Twitter, of like an artist maybe just being like, "Oh my God, Futaba's my favorite Persona character," you know, that kind of shit. And I was just like, I don't really get it. But after playing this game, I actually can understand. After seeing her story, I can understand why people like her. And I can say that for every character, because like there's a part of me that wants to explain the story. The story's convoluted as shit sometimes. It makes no sense. Like I don't, and in the video I deleted where I was like poorly explaining the story, where I actually kind of just like lost interest in telling the story and just kind of jumped to the end. So I kind of just want to like talk about like I just like I don't know, I just want to keep talking about this game. It's so fucking good. And there's so much that you could talk about with Persona 5, because it's just so fucking big. Like there's just so much, like the world of it may not be as big as like Yakuza 0 was, but game is so fucking good and has so many good characters. So like the characters, you know, you have your main character Joker, who, you know, originated in Smash Bros. He came from Smash Bros. They made a game about the character from Smash Bros. You know, it's a joke for anyone who's not paying attention. I don't know. There's always some people on the internet who like they hear people say that and they're like, actually he was in Persona. He was added to Smash, you fucking moron. It's like, I fucking know. But like Joker is definitely the strangest character in Smash. I would never have expected the main character of Persona 5 to be in Smash. But his name isn't Joker, it's his code name when he goes into the distorted world. But his real name is whatever you name him. You can literally name him fucking ass fart if you fucking want. But the reality is his code name is Joker, so they just call him Joker in the overall, I guess. But you name him. He doesn't. He's kind of a silent protagonist. He talks sometimes. Like when he succeeds things, he'll just go, yeah. Or when you like go to save your game, he'll be like, let's write this down. And like he'll talk at random. And then during like animated cutscenes, he'll sometimes just have like full length dialogue, and it'll just be like, what the fuck? Like, why is he silent throughout the whole game? But then he'll just randomly like have like a full dialogue tree just going. Like, it's weird. And then there's the first introduced friend, Ryuji, who is like a delinquent, a hot-headed delinquent who used to be he used to be like the star of the track team, but then a corrupt gym teacher broke his fucking leg, and Ryuji couldn't do track, and then yeah, and now he's known as like a delinquent, and he's basically like your first friend, and he wants to take down the gym teacher because the gym teacher is abusing his students as well as molesting the girls because he's weird, and Ryuji wants to take him down. And then there's the first female friend, Anne. I know it. Like you'd think like okay, a Japanese game, her name is just fucking Anne, but apparently I think she's like half American or something. And she's apparently dating the fucking gym teacher, which if you see that for the first time, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why is one of the students dating the gym teacher? That's a bit strange. And then it makes more sense when you realize she's doing it so that the gym teacher doesn't abuse her best friend, Shio. And then it's like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of fucking depressing and gross. Like, it's kind of sad. Okay, Persona 5 gets really fucking sad sometimes. Not like story-wise where you're just like, oh god, how could this happen to them? It's kind of just like depressing where it's just like, god damn, this is really how shit just is. Then there's the next character, Yusuke, who's the fancy art student who very serious, very stoic, very fancy, you know, and that's kind of his whole character. But he's kind of entertaining sometimes, you know. He's strangely a likable character. Like I definitely kind of like thought like okay this character's gonna not really be interesting, but he actually kind of was, and I liked Yusuke. I thought he was a good character. But there's not really much you can say. It's literally just that he's an artist. He's just a very stern artist. That's about it. Then I don't remember who the fuck came after that. I think it was Makoto who came next, who was the student council president. She's very studious, you know, the usual. She's a student council president, so she's serious. And the principal wants her to take down the Phantom Thieves, which is what your group is that goes into the fucking distorted world and shit. And when she goes in the world, she becomes like rebellious. She gets a fucking motorcycle and black leather. Like she gets all fucking badass and shit. But then in the real world, she's like a studious person who's all sweet and shit. Also, I think Makoto's supposed to be like maybe Joker's canon girlfriend because you can technically date any of the girls and you can like get a girlfriend just for like I guess some romantic scenes. Not romantic scenes. That makes it seem like it's sexual. Like cute scenes. They're more like the game focuses more on like cute romance, right? Like cute little oh they rest their head in your shoulder. That's so cute, you know, type thing, you know. And I think Makoto is supposed to be like the canon girlfriend because throughout the story they kind of like keep showing scenes of like her getting close to Joker and all that kind of shit. But in the end, you can literally date any of them. I don't know. But yeah, Makoto's the studious one who goes a little rebellious and likes to punch things in the special world. Then after that, I don't remember who comes. Like I'm just like struggling to remember who comes next. Like each time, I think Futaba is next, who is a shut-in hacker. If she is the one that comes next, she's a shut-in hacker she's a shut-in because her mother killed herself in front of her. And well, I mean, if a kid saw their fucking parent kill themselves, they'd probably be fucking traumatized. And she's shuts herself in because she believes that she's the one that killed her mother, right? And Sojiro, the guy who is your character's caretaker, because your character's on probation for assault, even though he was set up. Sojiro, the one who takes you in, that's his daughter-in-law, I think. I think it's technically his daughter-in-law. So Sojiro takes care of Futaba. Futaba's a shut-in, and she blames herself for her mother's death, so she shuts her in. And like I always relate to the shut-in characters, right? Like every time I see a shut-in character, I feel bad because I'm like, damn, I get it. Though I don't understand the feeling of having a parent fucking end their life in front of you. That shit, it's like I was expecting her to be goofy because the internet kind of like treats her in a goofy way where they're just like, "Yo, Futaba's super fucking silly," and I'm just like, okay, she's a silly character. But then she shows up and it's just like, oh, she's a shut-in because she watched her mother kill herself and she has hallucinations in her head that just make where her mother is, or like people are like blaming her for her mother's death, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, I thought this character was supposed to be silly. I thought this was supposed to get fucking goofy mode right now, and instead it got really sad mode. And then eventually you go into her distorted world palace and you try and help her, but she helps herself, and then she joins you and she becomes braver, right? But she's still like anxious around people. I like Futaba. I really like Futaba's character. I, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, throat. Why? Sorry, my throat decided it just wanted to be completely filled with shit. But yeah, I like Futaba. I don't know who I would really say is my favorite character. I think Futaba was my favorite character solely because like I always relate to those characters that I hate the term like relating to like a character in a show or a game. I hate that. But like I understand the character, the whole shut in thing. I understand the social anxiety thing. So it made me kind of like her a bit more where I was just like it made me want to like complete her story, like her little side story, because like I was just like, oh man, I really want to fucking help her. Like I felt really bad because like her whole story was just like sad compared to everyone else. Hers was like really sad, and I was just like, oh fuck. Like I felt really bad, and I completed her story, and then when I got to the end of her story, I saw the option to say that you loved her, and I was like, oh shit. Wait, like I completely forgot you could date them, and then I just did, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I guess I get the ending right. Dated Futaba, I guess. Like I completely forgot there was like romance in it until like I just wanted to help her story, and then I realized, oh shit, yeah, you can date people in this game. But then comes Haru, the daughter of the Okamura food uh, leader guy. I don't know, the guy who runs like Okamura Food Company or whatever, and she's the daughter, and her father's an asshole who is like trying to marry her off to like this political guy's son so that he can have so that the her dad can have some political power, right? And again, that's another character where I'm like, what the fuck is like what the fuck is going on with these characters? Why is she being like sold off to like be married? And Haru's character is like very sweet. Like she's very cute. Like she's definitely very like she was definitely intended to be like the cutesy little like little happy like soft spoken character, like I believe it's called like a dere or something like that. But I think she also has like some masochistic side or something. I don't really know. But she's supposed to be like the cute, like lofty one, the like adorable one, right? Like she's just supposed to be like the one that you hear her voice and you're supposed to be like, oh my god, like you just want to like pat her on the head type character. That the anime trope. These characters are a lot of anime tropes, the vulgar brash one, the half American cute girl, the studious one, the shut in, the cute one, the flamboyant guy, and then the silent protagonist. Like they fit a lot of anime tropes, okay? And there's a lot more characters. There's another character that joins the group, but he only joins for one palace, and then you find out some fucked things about him. And the overview of the story, I'm not really going to go over the story because this video is already long, but the story is just kind of there's a distorted world that you see people's desires, right? Like their evil desires. For example, the first palace you go to is a castle, and it was a school. The school is replaced by a castle because the gym teacher, Mr. Komashita, is, as I said earlier with what I was talking about Ryuji, he abuses people and he molests the girls. And the point of that is he sees the school as his castle. He sees himself as the king of a castle and that the students are slaves to him, right? So when they enter this distorted world, they go to an actual castle and there's a shadow version of Komashita, but he's like dressed up like a king, except he's also in a pink Speedo and it's weird. But it's supposed to symbolize that he's a fucking creep. So he's a shadow where he abuses in this castle, he abuses the students and he has like a harem of these girls, right? So it's supposed to, the distorted world is supposed to show the people's evil desires. And the job of the Phantom Thieves, that is the group you play as, is to steal the treasure, which is considered their heart. And when they steal the treasure, the person in the real world reverts to a good person and they confess what they've done. So the point is that the Phantom Thieves go into their fucked up world, steal their heart. They then will publicly admit what they've done, and then they usually go to jail because they did horrible things. So basically, it's changing their heart. That's kind of why like the tagline of the group is, what was it, take your heart or something like that. So that's kind of an overview. Like when I did the first video, I kind of just talked about nothing. I felt like I just kind of repeated the game was good and then half-assed talked about the story. But the story's convoluted. And I didn't talk like I think the reason it would be best not to really talk about the story is because it's long, and it's not really something that's like just easy for someone to explain. It's definitely a game that I would just like recommend playing on your own. Because there's games where I can explain a story pretty quickly and just be like, yeah. But like Persona 5 is so good. I just want to talk about everything. Like I want to talk about the story. I want to talk about the characters. I want to talk about the world because there's just so much good shit. But the point of the story is that's convoluted, and your characters steal the hearts of bad people, turn them good. And then the ending is you fight God. You literally fight God with the power of friendship. The stereotype of JRPGs, like there's a joke on the internet where JRPGs end with you defeating a god with the power of friendship, but you literally do. And the game ends with Joker shooting God in the head. That's how the game ends. You shoot God in the head. And the ending is bullshit. I said, like, no one can see the other video because I deleted it, but the ending is bullshit. The true ending is bullshit because your character has a happy life and he throws that away so that he can go home to a place where his parents hate him and the school that he's going to go to sees him as a villain. So basically, his choices were stay with the caretaker who treats him like a son and he sees as like a father figure, stay with his friends, stay with his girlfriend, stay in a school where people love him, the teachers love him, the students love him, everyone loves him. Joker is beloved by everyone in that town. So his choice is stay in a place where everyone loves him, nobody wants him to leave, and he's like the star of this whole town. Or go home to a family that hates him, to a school that has vilified him. What does Joker choose? He chooses to abandon this happy life for a life of being vilified by his family and school. He abandons his girlfriend, his friends, his father figure, everyone who cares about him, so he can go home. I cannot express how much I hate the true ending, because it shows that Joker is a complete fucking moron. He has the greatest life imaginable, and he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna leave. And then he just fucks off. Like, if I was in Joker's position, I would literally take every last cent I had in my pocket and I'd give it to Sojiro and say, hey, can I buy the attic? Like, can that just be my permanent residence? Like, I would literally say, yo, fuck my family, fuck my old town, fuck that shit, I'm staying here. Like, Joker is a complete idiot, okay? The ending shows that Joker is an incompetent moron that has a happy life and throws it away just because he's like, oh, well, this was all just probation, I don't need to stay here any longer. Like, dude, I would live that life for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, the game doesn't give you a choice, which I think the game should have given you a choice. The game should have had a choice at the end that's like, do you want to stay or leave? But no, you had to leave. Like, what's the point? Like, the whole point of the ending was supposed to show that Joker had the freedom of choice now. Because he defeated the god that was using them like puppets. He's now free to choose his own destiny. And dipshit chooses the worst destiny. Like, how can you do that? I don't know. I could go on for hours about how the true ending pisses me off. And I did. In the other video, I was like talking for like 10 straight minutes about how much I hate the true ending. But the ending just shows that Joker is a complete fucking moron. And as much as I hate the true ending, I love the game. Persona 5 is fucking amazing. Also, the Okamura Palace is the worst level. Worst level. Enemies are the worst in that one. The level layout's the worst. The Okamura level is the worst. The worst. I'm just going to say that right now. That is the worst level, hands down. And also the true ending sucks. But it's still a great game, great story. I teared up a lot. I teared up when the credits came on because I realized I was never going to get to experience this game as I did. Because now if I replay the game, it'll never be the same, right? I've already experienced it. I know the story. I know everything. And it's sad. It's sad when you beat a game that you're playing for the first time and you love it. Because every time when I beat Yakuza 0, I almost cried at the end because I was like, it's over. I was like, this game is over. I can never experience this again. I will never be able to experience Yakuza 0 again. It's over. And I was so sad. And that's how I felt with Persona 5. I almost wanted to start bawling. I was just like, no, I'll never be able to experience this game again. If I play it, it'll just be a game. It won't be something fun and crazy. It'll forever just be just a game, just a normal game. And it kind of breaks my heart when I beat games that I love for the first time because it's like, holy shit, I'll never get to experience that again. But Persona 5 is awesome. And like I said, I didn't really explain the story very well, but it's definitely a game I would recommend. And they had a Persona 5 Royal. I didn't play that. And they also had Strikers. I didn't play that. I just played the base because it was on sale for like $15 or something. And I always wanted to play Persona 5. Also, funny enough, I actually like using Joker in Smash. I was using Joker in Smash before I even played Persona 5. I like Joker. He's actually pretty good in Smash. But anyway, yeah, Persona 5 is fucking fantastic, and I would honestly, just like Yakuza 0, I would advise playing it. It's fucking great. So yeah, Persona 5 is fucking amazing, and I'm playing through it again right now. So yeah, yeah, Persona 5 is great. Whatever.